Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another interview on MMAUnhinged. And as you can see, we are with the Bkfc heavyweight champion of the world, Mick Terrill. An absolute pleasure. How are you?
I'm not too bad, mate. How's you?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Even better to get you on. I was speaking before we went on there. Bit of a local star up here in the northeast. It's a pleasure.
Hi.
In my world, in my head as well, I would probably get a little bit like, oh my God, that's Mick Terrill. But it's different for everyone.
Just good at hitting people.
That your hands make you money. That's it. That's what we're here to talk about. Firstly, obviously, I'd love to congratulate you on winning the Bkfc heavyweight championship of the world in a fantastic fight against Arnold Adams. How did it feel to kind of win that championship in America for a huge organization like Bkfc?
It was overwhelming, really, because obviously I've had to fight Arnold before. I was quite unwell when I fought him the first time, and so it was like, it wasn't like a revenge match, but it was like to prove a point. I can't beat him when I'm fully well. But I mean, funny enough, going into the fight, I slipped a few discs in my neck January last year, so I lost feeling in my left arm. So I've got a trapped nerve runs all the way down. I think it's the C6, C7 nerve that's been trapped. And anyways, my left arm wasn't working very well. That's why I wasn't blocking the jab, because my eyes were concentrating on his right hand. So because I knew this arm wasn't working as well as it should, so he just kept jabbing us with his other hand. But it was a hard fight. I made harder work than what I should have done.
But the most important thing is you got the job done. That's the takeaway we can get. And obviously, you brought the championship back to North Shields. Out of anywhere in the world, you bring back the North Shields. So how great was it to kind of bring back the belt to, obviously, a town that you grew up in North Shields? How good was it to kind of bring that achievement back to North Shields and show everyone, your friends and family?
It was good. I mean, the day I actually come back was my wife's birthday, so obviously my face was all fucked up. I was covered in stitches and still covered in blood. Every time I put my socks on, my nose bled for about 2 weeks. But I remember I come through the door and like my mum was there. Obviously, it's my wife's birthday. My mum's there crying.
Yeah.
My wife's mum turned up. She started crying. My wife's crying, and then my nana turned up. She started crying. So, but I was just shattered, and I just wanted to go to sleep. But
obviously they're crying because you went out there and did something monumental. And it was on a huge card. Yeah. It was on a fantastic card, a huge card in Bkfc. Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez, main eventing, which is probably one of the best cards that maybe we've had in the Bkfc. How great was it to kind of be underneath their card and roaming around with these guys who Mike Perry and Eddie Alvarez, huge in the MMA scene?
Yeah, it was. I think I fought on a show with Perry before in London.
Oh, yeah.
He's a funny character, Mike Perry, and it's honestly, when we're fighting in London, and I was sat next to him on the podium for the press conference, and I don't know why, but we all got a piece of paper and a pen, and I was sat next to Tony Giles. I was sat in the middle. It was Tony Giles and Mike Perry. Of course, you got this pen and paper, and I'm thinking we must need to take notes. I started panicking. I'm thinking I want to start remembering things. So anyways, I've looked over at Tony Giles and I've looked at his piece of paper and he's just drew loads of tits. Just loads of women's tits, So I was thinking, right. And then I looked at Mike Perry, just drew his own signature about 400 times. I thought, I don't think I need to take notes here. But he's a very intense character, Mike Perry. He's like, when you see him on the telly, he's exactly the same. He's like really tense, almost psychopathic, I think.
He is one of the best characters that we do have in this combat scene. He's phenomenal. He's got a personality, as you were mentioning, and I think he's just absolutely tailor-made for Bkfc because, as you mentioned, a bit psychopathic as well.
Yes. It's lovely bloke. When you actually get down to speak with him, lovely bloke. But to get past that, crack the shell on him. He's he's very intense. I think that's the word.
I can imagine it as well. I can definitely imagine it. We'll circle back, obviously being back to Bkfc world champion. What does this mean for you? Because obviously it's a huge, as I talked about, the monumental achievement going over to America in Utah, beating Arnold Adams, winning the belt and bringing it back to North Shields. But what does that mean to you deep down? It kind of makes you be out, the baddest man on the planet, shall we say? So how does that feel to kind of be Bkfc champion of the world and pretty much the baddest man on the planet.
But obviously it's a great feeling, isn't it? It's a massive company. I think it's probably the fastest growing company in the world at the minute. So it's a great achievement. I'll go down in history books. But really, for me, what it means is I'm going to get paid more next time. That's what it means.
I can imagine. With the things that come with being a champion, as you mentioned there, you get paid more. And immediately I thought, you are the hunted now. You don't have to be hunting anyone. You are the hunted. And I think that's been showcased throughout these last few months. Everybody's calling out the Mick Terrill name. So how does that feel to kind of be hunted instead of actually hunting this time?
I mean, that's the downside, isn't it? I keep, like, all my friends say it must be great in us as well. Not really. I've got probably 8 or 9 of the toughest blokes in the world who all want to beat us up, you know. But that's the game, innit? I used to be one of them. It's I enjoy hitting people, you know. So if I get a fight, I want to fight. So, like, my belt's actually there in my cupboard, in my little glass cabinet. But I don't want to sit there. I want to be out there fighting. I just want to fight as many people as I can, really.
Yeah, there's been some familiar names, especially in this MMA world, K1 world, kickboxing world. Called you out, none other than Mark Hunt. That is quite surreal. I never thought if he was going to return, it'd be like to box him, but no, he wants to take the gloves off, and he was immediately calling you out, Mick. So how great is that to kind of have, you know, an icon in kickboxing, where you started, your background? How great is that to have Mark calling you out?
Really, that was the pinnacle, like. You know what I mean? I've grown up watching Mark Hunt, you know, so, like, even, like, through his kickboxing, MMA days, he's a likeable bloke in history. I always supported him. And then when he's actually out there, like, mentioning your name and trying to have a fight, I was like, let's get it on. Yeah, I mean, it's like, that would be my dream fight if I was ever to fight.
Yeah, absolutely. We had also Lorenzo Hunt as well call you out. There's been plenty of guys that have called you out, Mick. It's incredible. But I do believe that Mark Hunt would be your preferable choice. Is the one, you know, in a dream world, ideal world, that you know, if I step in the ring next, it would love to be Mark Hunt.
100%. If I could get the Mark Hunt fight, I think it'd be like that'd be the pinnacle of my career. And I don't think I could go any higher than that in the foreseeable near future. You know, but obviously there's loads of people out there, but Mark Hunt would definitely be the dream fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Luckily enough, I had him on the podcast here as well, and we talked about obviously fighting Mick, obviously yourself, sorry. And he said he would love that fight. He said he would love to make it in London, but I said, why not Newcastle? Obviously we have a fantastic arena, Utility Arena, but I'm not too sure where the Bkfc stand and whether they know there's an actually arena there in Newcastle that they can hold it in. But whether it's London or Newcastle, he said he was game. Let's bring it over here.
They definitely do know there's an arena in Newcastle because.
They went to the Walkergate, didn't they?
I'm pals with Bakewell. He runs the you know. But Bakewell knows all about the utility. I think utility are a little bit expensive. They were trying to I think they were trying to you know, extort money out of Bakewell at some point. But I don't know. It depends if the sponsors are saying it's going to be in London, it's London. I'd definitely put on a few buses to get down there, and that's not too far.
Absolutely. I know we have another arena, obviously in Newcastle. We have the Virtu Motors Arena, you know, the basketball one. So we have plenty of options. Obviously we've got the Utilita. That would be good. You know, that's 12,000, 11,000 people, and I have no doubt that you would at least, you know, fill a good majority of that. If not, sell out the whole arena.
I mean, when I fought in the Walker Dome against Panda Banks, I actually ran out of tickets. I sold how many tickets I ran out. I was selling other people's tickets, you know, if they couldn't shift them. I was saying, give us your tickets, I'll sell them. But I'm sure I've done well over 500 tickets, and that's all I was allowed because obviously the other fighters were getting the tickets. I was begging for more. I was saying, give us some more tickets. But I reckon if I could fight for the world title back in Newcastle, I'd definitely sell thousands of tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously having Mark Hunt, you know, your adversary, it would just help. It would help things, wouldn't it?
It would sell itself, wouldn't it? I wouldn't even have advertised, you know what I mean? I would just say I'm fighting Mark Hunt. I think I'll have a kill me for the door.
Absolutely. We'll circle back to Mark. He's a very funny character. You know, he's got quite a similar banter to us in the UK. You know, it's good. I feel like, you know, when you're fighting an Australian or talking to an Australian, it's good because they have similar banter. Whereas the Americans, as you talked about Mike Perry, quite serious. Don't really have that, the banter talk as we have in the UK when we're in a pub having a few beers and stuff like that. But you can see that Mark has it, and obviously he's on his Instagram posting all these memes. So how good is it to kind of interact with Mark, who's game for a fight, and he's game for a little bit of trash talk as well.
Mark's he's one of the boys, really, isn't it? It's like, I mean, you're from up here now, you'll know what the banter's like up north east. It's ruthless. I think Mark's is the same as us. It's, I mean, if you're weak-minded and you come to a gym up in Newcastle, you're going to want to kill yourself. You know what I mean? You get more stick off your pals, That's how in the northeast, you've got a good pal. She'll rip the piss out of you. And I think Mark's got probably a similar banter,
Yeah, I love it. Honestly, the Northeast, I moved up 6 years ago. I came up, and next thing you know, everyone's taking the piss out of my accent, and I just thought, for fuck's sake, lads. But then you learn to deal with it as you go on, and the banter up here is actually incredible, and everyone's just down to earth, lovely people here in the Northeast. I love it up here. Honestly, it's incredible. But the banter, as you mentioned, if they're not ripping the piss out of you, are they really your friends?
They're not. I mean, my trainer's just getting some new glasses, man. We call them non-solizers. He's got his gold Jeffrey Dahmer's on, And I says, you look like a paedophile. You know what I mean? So I was non-sliders.
People are probably watching this thinking, like, what the hell? Like, paedophile nonsense? Like, it's just how it is in the UK. It's just how it is. And I feel like it's quite similar in Australia. They've got the banter. So it's going to be, if this fight happens, the press conferences, everything, it would be absolutely ecstatic. I'd love it. It'll be over the moon. You'll be talking shit. He'll be talking shit. It'll be good to watch, should we say?
I mean, we had an interview and actually wrote down loads of insults to Callum, and then we ended up getting on. It was hard, like I was laughing at him, he was laughing at me. We ended up not insulting each other.
Honestly, if the fight does get made, it'll be fantastic. And we'll move over, and obviously, I want to talk about the Bkfc and your relationship with them. What is it like, with the Bkfc? How is the relationship with them? And obviously, personally as well, David Feldman. How is that working?
Feldman's a good kid, really. He's one of the lads, really. You know what I mean? He's just a normal person that's come up with a good concept, and it's went well for him. I mean, he's hard to get in touch with. Trying to get in touch with him, he's a nightmare, but I understand he's busy, he's got a lot going on. He's got fights on every two to 3 weeks. So he's non-stop, but I think that's he's just one of the boys, really, just hard to get in touch with.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you about some rumours that have popped up. Other promotions are potentially interested in Mick Terrill. Any truth in that? And if so, if you could tell us anything, what have we got?
Obviously, the manager deals with all that sort of stuff, but there has been lots of interest. Obviously, I've won a world title, so it's on a big promotion. So I think a lot of eyes have been watching, I mean, I think there's a called PFL, Game Bread, all these different organisations, obviously getting in. But at the minute, I'm happy where I'm at. It's I'm loyal. I try to be as loyal as I can. I mean, saying that I'm 40, I haven't got long left. I need some good money as well, So I want to try and make some decent money before I go. But if Bkfc's in with the right offers, I'm in with Bkfc,
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd love to for you to stay at Bkfc, kind of make it your home a little bit, and bring it over to the UK a lot more. I know we have, the UK series, but it'd be good to kind of bring over these big pay-per-views. Then we had Mike Perry and stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely agree. I'm looking forward to obviously when the next one happens. I'd love to talk about obviously your new Instagram as well. The real Mick Terrill, quite a different approach, interacting with fans, sponsors, and stuff like that. And I love to see. Well, I saw that little promo the other day with Forged Irish Stout, and obviously you're over there in Dublin. Firstly, how was that to kind of be, the Black Forged in around obviously some incredible guys, Conor McGregor of note.
I mean, obviously I've got Gabriel to thank for that. He's my new manager at the minute. He's doing a good job. But the bar, Conor's bar, is outstanding. If you go in, it's mad. It's like a blend of old-fashioned and modern. It's he's got it down to the But obviously getting to meet him, I mean, he's just a character as well, isn't he? But everybody loves him, So when he was in there, everybody wants a piece of him. It was, but you know what it is? He had time for everybody. He was interacting for everybody, and just seems like a nice fella.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Gabriel there, obviously your new manager. How did this relationship come about? And obviously, how has it been thus far?
To be honest, it was by accident. I think it's from Mark Hunt. He was looking after Mark, and we started talking, and he's just a breath of fresh air. He's got no interior motives. He just wants to help you do well. my only regret is I didn't meet him sooner. He checks in on you all the time. He's got good contacts. He knows how to greet people. He gets around the world, So everything he does, it's like he's got a plan, and I think he's one of them. He's got his plan. He writes out what he wants to do, and he sets out and he does it.
Absolutely, and obviously him being the manager of Mark Hunt helps the case of making the fight next. So obviously a fantastic for you to kind of get around the right people, and obviously Mark's Hunt manager, it's going to be good, and obviously your manager as well. Lastly, I got another topic that I love to talk about, and I've been all over this. I love seeing the announcements. Unfortunately, I didn't get catch the last show, but I heard some good things about it. And that was the straightener show. Mick, talk to me about that, because it's a good little show that you're doing up here in the Northeast. How did you come up with that?
I'll get you some tickets for it. I think we've got another one in April.
April 6th, yeah.
We're going to fight shows, and we're sick of seeing people, taking dives. It's happening quite a lot, people go purposely take a dive. And then, when you're seeing all the knackers running around trying to threaten each other on the streets, I just said, why don't we just get together and have a fight? So we'll call it the straightener. Straightener means two people want to have a fight. So what I would start doing is I would say, right, get people the messages. Do you want to have a fight with someone? Then messages, and I'll put it on them on Facebook. So let's say Dave down the street wants to have a fight with Joe around the corner. I'll say, Joe, Dave says he wants to have a fight. If you're too scared, you'll let everybody know on Facebook. So they've either got a fight or one's got to concede, and it ends the beef that they've got, So it was basically that, I think if it doesn't, it escalates on the street as well. You see people are putting each other's windows out, or they're getting into gang fights. You'd rather just get it in the ring, and you've got two people don't like each other. They're not going to take a dive, and it's going to be loads of pride at all. So that they've got to have the fight, and if they don't, they're a coward. You know what I mean? That's find out who the shitty horses are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard some good things about the show. Unfortunately, I didn't get a catch the last one, but I've heard some good things about it. And obviously, it's a good concept. I love it. And your next show, as you talked about there, you've got some fantastic fights on your next show. A 4-man tournament, a 2K prize, and you also got some championship belts. Talk to us, about your next show. What can fans expect if they're watching this and thinking maybe I'd like to turn up?
Well, if you come to the straightener show, you're going to get bare knuckle boxing, you're going to get unlicensed boxing, you're going to get K1 and some Thai boxing. So you get a mixture of everything. We don't do auctions. We don't do charities like that's another thing. You see boxing shows, right? They're saying it's a charity thing. It's not. I think 5% goes to charity. They're keeping it for themselves, and they're doing like charity auctions. They're keeping it. It's not going to charity. They're keeping it. So our shows are just boxing. You go in and start to finish boxing, go home, get yourself on the drink straight after. Sick of going to shows at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You're not getting home till midnight. You know what I mean? I just want to see 10 to 12 fights and then out.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I honestly, I'll try and catch the next one. I've got a busy April. Unfortunately, I'll be in Birmingham with what's going and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll try and definitely catch that one. It's going to be a fantastic show. I'm looking forward to it. It's great to have a breath of fresh air here in the Northeast. A new event. A new show. We haven't got really that many, do we?
They're dying out, aren't they? That's the thing. Like like MMA. Back in the day, there was an MMA show every week. MMA's dying out, I think, in England. But like I say, we've got bits of bare knuckle MMA, normal MMA, bare knuckle boxing, K1 and Thai. It's a bit of everything. You know what I mean? Wets everyone's beak.
Absolutely, Mick. An absolute pleasure, mate. I'm hoping this Mark fight gets made next. I want it to materialize, and it would be probably one of the largest Bkfc fights that they have ever had. Just having Mark Hunt coming over, challenging, whether it's in London, whether it's in Newcastle, it just makes a ton of sense. You want that fight, he wants that fight, the fans want that fight. What's stopping Bkfc and David Feldman?
I've got no idea. It's like you say, it'd be absolutely huge for Bkfc, that fight. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know why they wouldn't want it to happen. You know what I mean? If David's watching, get in touch with Gabriel, he'll make it happen straight away. But absolutely massive, that fight, and massive for Bkfc.
Completely agree. Love to see that happen. When is the potential, return that you would like to get back into the ring? In an ideal world, obviously.
Well, I train non-stop, so even when I'm not fighting, I'm still training. I've tried messaging Dave today, just to see is there any dates, so I know when to pick up the training. Obviously, you don't want to peak too early, especially at my age. So I just want to sort of schedule my training, when to pick it up, when to start running, when to start sprinting. So
Of course.
little things are just, like details. That's all I need,
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Mick Terrill, an absolute pleasure. Hopefully we get that fight next against Mark Hunt. Would be an absolute showcase of a fight. I'd love to see it happen in the UK as well. Mick, an absolute pleasure, mate. I'll catch you all soon. And hopefully next time we catch up, we're talking about that Mark Hunt fight. And we'll be in the gym and we'll be face to face. And I'd love to kind of, meet you as a person as well.
Spot on, mate. Thanks very much.